Blast off! Hello, and welcome to the second instalment in a long-running series of podcasts hosted by myself, George, and
me, Thomas. Hello, everyone.
in this episode we'll be bringing you much more interesting subjects, hopefully. Anyway, let's jump right into this, I think.
Did you want me to start, or...?
Yeah, go for it.
So, I was first going to talk a little bit about the podcast and try and explain... Well, the first question is, why did we start the podcast?
Because it sounded fun.
Yeah, I guess you just asked me, do you want to start a podcast? And I kind of was just like, yeah, okay. Not thinking that you were actually going to do it. And then you bought a mic and everything, and here we are.
Yeah, I've had this microphone since like January of this year, so a good 4 or 5 months, and I even wrote like a video that I was going to record, which I lost. Maybe one day that'll happen, but sometimes I buy things for little projects and then just never do them. I'm sure I'm not the only person that does that. In fact,
Yeah, I've done that a lot.
yeah, it's probably more projects that get the kit bought for them that just don't happen than do happen, probably. So I actually wanted to do something for a change, and maybe some people can enjoy the thoughts and feelings and care about what we have to say. Anyway, Tom.
Yeah, I'm glad that we are actually doing it, and it isn't just a random like thought that went in your head that we just never did. But
Yeah, because like for the past 5 years or so, I've been wanting to make an electric go-kart or something. Which obviously I'm 19 now, so if I was 14, 15 when I first had that idea, I wasn't going to be building anything like that at that age. So maybe, who knows, maybe that'll be something that gets made and it'll be the resident e-go-kart. But
where would you even drive that though?
you could make it off-road. There's lots of fields around here. Or make a drifting one so I can go on the beach and...
Drift kart.
Yeah. Drift the electric cart on the beach.
That is very illegal. You should not do that.
Is that actually illegal?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
Why do the government hate fun?
Because that's illegal.
Very true. Well, now we're going to get demonetized for hating the government. We don't get any money, obviously.
I'm sorry, government. The next question. So, what do we plan to do with the podcast?
This podcast is made by the people, so you decide. Essentially.
Yeah, I think we don't really know what we're gonna do with it, so we're just gonna see what happens. Basically, see if we find any subjects that we can really talk about in depth, or just find interesting to talk about. But yeah, at the moment, we don't really know. It's kind of just an experiment, I guess.
Yeah, this isn't going to turn into like an esports podcast where we talk about the latest league matches, because who the hell knows about that and cares about that? Well, a lot of people do.
Anything about league?
Nor do I. So, I don't know. I have
or gaming well, I do play games, but I don't really follow any kind of esports team.
We are both, in inverted commas, gamers, I suppose.
Gamers.
Yeah. As in people who play games. If you're not sure on the definition of gamer, search up gamer and find out for yourself. But
just say Google it.
No.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows who a gamer is if they're listening to two blokes on the internet.
That is a very good point. Anyway, back to the question. I have a feeling it'll naturally draw towards films more. I don't know, maybe we'll have like a section where we talk about films and a section where we talk about little things that we want to talk about, and a section about all the fun times we've had.
yeah, I guess I'm not like I watch a lot of films, I'd say, but I don't have strong opinions about a lot of films. So I I know you're more into films than me, I guess.
I might be. I like more boring things. So, David Lynch films that no one cares about. So we won't talk about that kind of thing. But I feel like if we like watch the films that are released recently and talk about them, and then give them a good old pat down, find out what they're about, and collect our thoughts. That's the hardest bit, collating your thoughts on things. I found it really difficult last week to.
Well, one I forgot like most of the films. I
Yeah,
just
so
didn't know
did
what
I.
to say. But I feel like, because you said about doing the podcast after we watched the film, so I wasn't thinking that I'd have to talk about it
No.
after watching it. So it's quite difficult.
Yeah, and it is quite difficult to remember it after 6 days. It would have been. So, yeah, maybe we should watch things a bit closer to the recording next time. But
And then try and write them down, like maybe an hour,
yeah, making
hour
notes.
after after seeing them or something. Not necessarily in the cinema, because I feel that would be weird.
No, that's completely acceptable. You're allowed to go in and make notes.
As a person who works in the cinema, would you consider someone writing notes in the cinema to be weird?
No, as long as they're not taking pictures or filming, which actually really gets my goat. Some people just make a photo and have their flash on, and then you have to make the decision whether to go and berate them about it or just ignore it because you're tired. Usually it's the latter, but it is pretty annoying, so don't do that.
Please, piracy is bad.
Yeah, you've seen them adverts.
You wouldn't steal a baby.
Yeah, you wouldn't steal all that. Or you wouldn't steal a police officer's hat and then poo in it and send it back to the widowed, well, whatever. Watch,
And then steal it again.
yeah. Watch the IT Crowd. That's our recommendation.
So the next question is: do you actually like podcasts? Do you like listen to any podcasts?
I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. I've listened to a few in the past. There's only one that I have a long running history of watching, which I won't say, just because no promotion here.
Even though we have no viewers to promote anything, but yeah, for me, I don't really listen to podcasts that much. I watched them like maybe a few years ago. But yeah, not really that into podcasts, so I don't really know why I want to make my own, but here we are.
Well, ideally, a podcast is a conversation on topics that is both enjoyable for the listener and enjoyable for the presenters, hosts, whatever you want to call them, of the podcast. So that's the goal, to make it more enjoyable for both parties. At the moment, we only have one party. We need some people to watch this.
So we just need to enjoy it ourselves at the moment because we don't have anyone actually listening. So fuck anyone listening. This is just for us.
Yeah, please stop listening. Don't.
We are just really self-centered, I guess, at the moment.
Not only really self-centered, but really, 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 really conservative. We're not conservative. Oh well, I can't speak for Tom, but
I almost had a joke which I shouldn't say.
well, it's good that you restrained yourself.
Yeah, because I remembered that we were recording.
I don't know how to edit anything,
so
so
if I did say anything, then we'd just have to stop it and start again, I guess.
and I would be very cross.
Yes.
Anyway,
That's the end of my questions. Well, I have one left, but I'll leave that because that's not related to what we just talked about.
ooh, a little teaser.
Yeah.
So there are a few songs that I've listened to recently. not discovered recently, but excuse me, sorry. I'll have to compose my indigestion. So there are a few songs recently that I've been listening to that I've been really enjoying. I just wanted to shout them out. Jai Ho, whatever it's called.
Jai Ho, that one.
Yeah, that one.
Jai Ho.
Yeah.
I am very familiar with that song. It was great in probably like year 6.
Yeah, like a million years ago. Really great, really good, really fun. Now, even more great, even better, and even more fun. No, I just used to play a drinking game where you had a load of people sat around a table, and every time it says Jai Ho in the song, the next person starts drinking their drink and doesn't stop until the next Jai Ho, which just repeats and goes around the table, you know. And I don't know, I think that's just some nostalgia I've built up from that.
Should you be promoting binge drinking?
I didn't say we were drinking alcohol.
Oh, I guess you could do it with a soft drink, but
I mean, we were.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, it's probably best not to binge drink.
But I think it's something that everyone does. It's so socially acceptable.
Yeah,
that
that's something we
just,
can talk
yeah,
about.
I guess so. It's just alcoholism is. Like I was watching Dragon's Den with my sister this morning. Let's go on a random tangent. And
yeah,
basically, loads of the pitches were about alcohol, and I was just like,
what, like breweries and stuff?
It was like, well, there was one about whiskey, and like expensive whiskies is obviously like £100 a bottle. So for someone that wants to try whiskey, they would either have to spend £100 on the bottle, or like find a place that sells it and ask if they can try a bit. But anyway, so they do this thing where you can get sent little tasters of whiskey.
Oh yeah, I've had a
to your
little
door, which is a
taster.
good idea. But anyway, that was one of the things. But like, there's so much different alcohol businesses type things. Like, you can get sent to your door. There's loads of different types and all that. Like, there's just loads of alcohol, but there's just not the same with like any other drug. Why is alcohol the one that's just marketed so much to everyone?
So that people get liver failure? I don't know.
That's pretty dark.
I don't think that is the reason, but it can cause that, obviously. I don't know. I think it's a racial thing, really, because if you think about it, in the 70s, I think it was the 70s, in America, the African American community tended to use crack cocaine more than cocaine, which is what the rich white people used, because it was cheaper. And then it was made like really illegal, even more illegal than cocaine.
Because the white people do cocaine. So.
Yeah, and so they wanted to punish black people, those racist bastards. And yeah, that's crack. But I think alcohol is just legal because it's been legal for yonks. And when they did try to delegalize it in America in the 1920s.
Did they try to make it illegal?
Yeah, the Prohibition.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's like a Simpsons episode about it, which I recommend watching if you want to be informed on it. Cause
okay, The Simpsons is the best history channel.
Yeah. No, because it's... Oh.
There's 2 spiders have joined us.
Fuck yeah. Now, I'll talk about spiders later.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think just because alcohol's legal, that's why...
It's so socially acceptable
Yeah.
as being commonplace that no one would dare make it illegal.
Yeah, and anyway, as we saw in the Prohibition, making it illegal just doesn't work because you get moonshine runners, and that's where like hot rods and everything
I know
come
about
from.
moonshine runs and
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. But I thought it was just like that specific alcohol was illegal. Like,
No,
I know like certain percentage of alcohol is illegal, or like you can't sell it or whatever.
I think people should just be able to buy 100% ethanol.
I don't know what to reply to that. That's just the worst idea I've ever heard.
Yeah, that would probably kill a lot of people. Not only kill, but blind and maybe severely disable in other ways.
Hey, really drunk person, would you like to do some ethanol shots? And they'll be like, yeah, and then do way too many and just die.
Yeah, don't drink ethanol. And I feel like you need an organic chemistry degree to know how to get ethanol in a pure form. I'm not a chemist, so. Tom is also not a chemist.
I am also not a chemist or Walter White.
Welcome to the Not Chemist podcast.
Where we are both not chemists.
Okay, I think that's the end of that tangent.
Yeah, that's the end of the weird alcohol tangent.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was going to mention, actually, that alcohol is one of the most neurally toxic drugs as well. So it's really bad for your body and your brain, which is part of your body. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're brain dead and your brain doesn't work. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about.
You talk about how bad alcohol is.
Yeah, it's really bad, and don't drink it.
It's really bad, but
way too much, you know.
I feel like everything in moderation is fine, and
yeah. So if you go down the pub for your pint of lager or whatever after your Friday shift work, and you're like, oh, I'm off for the weekend, then fair enough. But if you're drinking every day, maybe seek some help. I don't know if there's. I'm guessing there's. No, I do know if there's support for alcoholism in the UK. There definitely
very
is.
Common.
Yeah.
I feel like alcoholism is like one of the most common like addictions. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
just
functioning alcoholics.
Just because it is so socially acceptable.
Yeah.
Like someone that's drunk all the time obviously isn't, but just going regularly to the pub and getting drunk is pretty commonplace.
Yeah, that's why I do it.
Yeah, I do it because everyone else does it. That's my only reason.
I'd much rather like go to Nando's or something because that's fine.
Nando's is shit.
Okay.
I really don't like Nando's that much.
Okay.
It's so boring.
Okay. Right. Now we have to talk about Nando's. I know you're a vegan, but you've had vegan Nando's experiences.
I have had. Yeah, I just find it really. Well, I guess I've only had like a medium, like chicken spicy one, and I just found it boring.
That's because it's not spicy as fuck. So
that doesn't make it better.
Yeah,
just
it
having
does.
it more spicy.
It makes curries nicer.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Because it gets to a point where it's too hot and it's not enjoyable anymore.
No, but when you're there chowing down on some vindaloo, some lamb vindaloo, and you get to the end of said lamb vindaloo, and your stomach's burning, you feel like your chest is about to be ripped open, and your mouth is dying. You're just like, yes, I have completed this vindaloo. I have conquered a curry that was way too hot for many humans. I don't want
my meal to feel like a task, or well, I guess it is a task, but it's not a competition. Can I eat this really hot curry that's gonna make me have the shits this evening? I just want to sit there and go, "Ooh, that's a nice curry. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that onion flavour's really nice. Ooh,
fuck onions.
I really like that.
Capsaicin is all that matters. You know, if we had pure capsaicin, which is the extract of what chilies make, what makes chilies hot.
Thank you for clearing that up. I wasn't sure what
That's alright.
Whatever
I
it was.
think I rolled it in nicely to the sentence. But yeah, if I had 100% pure capsaicin, I'd literally put a drop on my tongue right now just to prove a point. That would probably hurt a lot, but I don't know.
That does not sound like a good idea, because we've both had ghost chili peppers.
Were they ghost chilies or Carolina Reaper pods?
That's it. Carolina Reapers.
I have.
That was awful.
Yeah, I have eaten ghost chilies or Naga Jalokias or whatever they're called. But yeah, Carolina Reapers. We had these little dried pods when we took them to school.
When we were, what year 10 or year 11?
Either year 10 or 11.
So we were like, what, 15?
somewhere between 14 and 16. And
You brought a packet into school
Oh my
and
God.
shared them out
yeah, a load of
at like fucking lunchtime or some shit.
saying it out loud actually makes me
It
realise how
sounds so
stupid that
dumb.
was. So yeah, I brought these little dried up Carolina Reaper pods, and they were actually the most disgusting thing I've ever put in my body.
And we were not prepared. Like, we didn't have milk or water really. Well, there's like water fountains and stuff like that, but we didn't come prepared
Well,
for that kind of thing.
One of us did.
Yeah, you did, because you brought the fucking chilies.
No. One of our friends brought milk. Dan.
Did he? Oh, I
yeah.
don't remember it that well, but I don't remember anyone bringing milk, I gotta be honest.
Yeah, our friend.
I just remember dying and
Yeah.
throwing up on the field.
Oh, you threw up?
Yeah.
I managed not to, which I would think I rather would have.
I was really happy that I threw up, because then the rest of the afternoon was not as bad, because
Oh god,
everyone
yeah.
started getting stomach aches, but my stomach ache wasn't too bad.
I
could deal with
Yeah,
it.
I had a maths class, which is okay because I like maths, but I was literally dying, and I had to like crease over my stomach and just hold it just to feel
Clench
normal
your
again.
buttocks.
Yeah, I spent the whole maths class writing with my ass. I was holding my my cheeks.
What a lovely image. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I can't remember where this conversation started.
We were talking about Chili's and Nando's.
Nando's, yeah. But yeah, Nando's is crazy, bro. I've been craving it recently. So when I next have it, I will report how disappointed I was. But when you have the spicy, the extra hot, none of this bullshit medium, proper spicy food. But now you're a vegan, so you can't have the chicken, which is the only reason to go to Nando's.
I don't know if they have any vegan options. I'll have to find out. I expect they do, as they're big.
You would
big
have thought so.
company.
You'd like to think so.
Yeah,
But
be inclusive to those weird vegans out there.
maybe it is the meat eaters who are the weirdos.
I would completely agree with that, but I don't want to get into a vegan conversation, really.
Nor do I.
Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I'll come out with the true facts.
Yeah, you'll
To-
spit
today,
straight facts.
Today is not that day, because
Because Ben Shapiro's not here yet. We'll get him on at some point. I've got him on
and
speed
then
dial.
we'll find out if he truly does have feelings.
And whether he cares about them, and whether the facts care about them.
That would be interesting.
Okay, I think we've exhausted the
Yep, that's
Nando's tangent.
How did we even get on the Nando's tangent?
We
We were talking about food.
Did curry come up first?
I think it did. You said about having no. I'm pretty sure Nando's came up. Oh yeah, we talked about drinking, and then you were like, "Oh, I'd rather have a Nando's."
Oh yeah. No, I
That's-
would though.
Yeah. But anyway, next question, because that's just dead now.
The next question is another song I've been listening to. I just want to get rid of all these songs. I've only got 2 more. So bear with me. Alimony by Raikuda. You'll have to listen to it.
Alimony. Something like that.
Yeah. And it's just got a stomping guitar riff. Our rendition doesn't do it justice, but go listen to it. And the last one is Empty by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I don't know why I wrote this one down, because I like the song, but don't really care about it too much anymore.
You have nothing to say about Empty.
I'd have to just talk about the whole album, and I don't think people want to hear me talk about King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's 2014 album, I'm in Your Mind Fuzz.
I would have no comments for that, because I don't really listen to King Gizzard.
I'll just mention the fact that in 2019. It was either 19 or 20. I can't remember which. No, it would have been 2019. I just started listening to quite a famous psychedelic rock band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and I exclusively listen to these guys for months. I don't know why I do this with artists. I did the same with a band called Megadeth, which are an American thrash metal band that started in the early 80s. I mean, as thrash metal goes, they're really good, but you've just got to like it to appreciate it. And I don't, if you like thrash metal, listen to Megadeth if you haven't already, and if you like neo psychedelic rock, listen to King Gizzard. Thanks.
For me, I just don't listen to that kind of music. Like,
yeah, Tom listens to shit music.
Heavy metal just doesn't. Yeah, I just don't like heavy music at all. If it's like too in your face, I'm just like, oh, please stop.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm just like, I just like chilled pop kind of.
Chilled beats, man.
The chill beats. Just relax, bro.
Yeah.
I listen to some psychedelic pop, which is an interesting kind of genre. I don't really know how to describe it. It's pretty weird.
What would be some bands from that genre or artists from that genre, please?
My favourite is Monster something. I Monster, that's
See,
it. I can't
even I
remember
knew that.
myself. Yeah, I'm not very good at remembering artists or the songs' names. But I just, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, I really like this song.
yeah, it's a lot easier to remember a song by how it goes than its title. But let's talk a bit more about our music tastes, to be honest, just to get a general idea. I tend to, I said I listen to Tom's getting Spotify up, and I might have to do the same.
Just to find out what I actually listen to.
Yeah, I listen to everything. You know when people are like, oh, there's not a genre I don't like. I don't know.
I'm sorry, there is.
Yeah, like
everyone has their likes and dislikes.
Yeah, for example, I don't really like hip hop. I'm really annoyed about that because I wish I did, because I feel like I'm missing out on such an expansive and interesting genre. But hey,
yeah, I quite like hip hop, but I don't really listen to it.
No,
it's just I don't know why.
I won't complain if it's on, but
yeah.
So, on my playlist, my Spotify, it's mostly a mix of psychedelic rock, neo-psychedelic rock as well, stuff like the Grateful Dead. I don't know what genre they'd be. They're kind of psychedelic / folk rock kind of thing, blues as well. Special shout out to the Doors. I've got some songs that I really like by the Doors.
Yeah, for me, one of my favourite artists is Daft Punk.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a very popular band, but I haven't met anyone that actually likes their music. All our friends don't like Daft Punk, which is really weird because it's obviously very popular, but rip Daft Punk as they have separated.
Yeah,
which is
a shame.
I've been listening to a lot of albums recently.
Yeah,
which I quite enjoy because it kind of just, I don't know, it kind of tells a story. Albums
it's like
do, and it's quite nice, especially if you really like the artist.
Yeah.
So my favorite one is Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. That's just.
I've been meaning to listen to that. Apparently, it's incredible. Like the production on it's meant to be so good.
Another one that's a bit more. Another one of my favourite artists is The Weeknd, which is a very popular pop artist, and
that's fair enough.
After Hours is just incredible in my opinion. I love that album. And yeah, my favourite album from I Monster is I don't even know how to pronounce it. Never, Odd or Even. That's obviously pretty easy to pronounce. I don't know why.
It's actually pronounced Never Odd Even.
Sorry.
I messed that up, but it was a lie anyway. I was going to mention Neil Young. I really like. Harvest Moon is one of my favourite albums. Full stop. It's got some cracking songs like the title track, Harvest Moon, which is one of Neil Young's most famous songs. It's just a really nice kind of love ballad thing. And then there's also some fucking like kicking song about a dog, and it's got a banjo. It's called Old King. That I really recommend. Definitely listen to that one.
I might have to listen to that. That
Yeah.
does sound
I'm
pretty
sure
amazing.
I've played it when we have been in the same ear vicinity. Oh, Osric Tentacles I wanted to mention as well.
Oh my god, I remember you listen to that.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Osric Tentacles are a band from a town in Somerset called Frome. No, wait. They're not from Frome, they're from around there. They're from Somerset anyway. And, oh my god, I don't know what the hell
Where are you going with this?
I just wanted to mention, like, I have no clue what drugs they have done, but they have clearly done a lot. And they've produced some pretty weird music. It's pretty cool. If you know, you know. Peace out. Well, enough about music. Actually, no. One more thing about music. What would you say is your favourite album?
For me, well, I already said it. It's Ram at the moment.
Wait, did you explicitly say that earlier?
I said it's one of my favourites, but I guess my favourite would be Ram. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I
just fucking love Daft Punk. I'm just a huge Daft Punk fucking fanboy.
Does that make you a Daft Punk?
I guess that might make me daft and into punk. I am a comedic genius.
One of my actual favourite albums is an album called Talkie Walkie by French electro pop duo Air. Listen to it.
I've never heard that album or that artist or artists. I'm not sure if that's a band. Did you say it was a band? Did you literally just say it was a band?
It's an electro pop duo.
Duo. Yeah.
If you like Daft Punk, you might like
I'll
these.
probably like it actually.
Because their production is really nice. They have really nice soft voices as well. Two French guys that joined forces in university or something. And there was another thing I wanted to say. The Beatles are the best band ever, but I don't want to get into the discussion of best band ever because we've talked about music for the past 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. And we haven't, because we can't really play any music.
Yeah, we'll just get copyright
so
strikes.
It can't really make this more interesting.
No.
Unless you know the songs we're talking about, or the artists.
Just pick a few and listen to them if you're interested. But yeah, enough about music. Let's move on to a dream I had on Sunday. Was it Sunday night or Monday night? It was either Sunday or Monday night. And anyway, the title of the subject is Mum Ketamine Addict Dream. So let me explain.
You're going to have to explain. Based on that title, I'm very confused.
So I had this dream, right, where... Oh, God, I don't know why this was in my mind whilst I was sleeping, but my mum got addicted to ketamine. And if you don't know, ketamine is a dissociative drug, a horse tranquilizer, as Tom
That's what I was
about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty heinous. It's not very good for you, and I don't condone the use of it, but I'm not saying that it doesn't get used, because it quite clearly does. It's pretty big in the southwest.
Yeah, I think it's a common party drug. Would you say it's a party drug?
Yeah, definitely. So people that go to like clubs and raves and stuff, and like outdoor parties, named free parties.
You kind of don't really hear about it in the media that much, though.
No.
It's kind of more... I guess it's more UK kind of thing.
Yeah.
You don't really hear about it in America. But anyway, carry on with your conversation. Let's not get into ketamine.
Yeah, just wanted to mention, I don't think it's very big in America. I'm sure it is there in some parts, but I talked to an American girl at the term of university I did, and she said that, I heard that a drug called ketamine's really big here, and I was like, yeah, it's this horse tranquilizer. Anyway, back to the ketamine dreams.
That was really random.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify the alien nature of ketamine to Americans. So, my mum was addicted to ketamine in my dream, and I was like, what the hell? Why are you addicted to ketamine? Sort your shit out. You need to stop doing ket. And then she got two of my siblings doing ket, and the other one just didn't care and found it funny. And then I was like, why is everyone doing ketamine? Everyone stop doing ketamine. It's not really good for you. And then I woke up and I just didn't know what to make of it. Maybe a psychologist can tell me what my ketamine dreams mean, but what's your take on it?
I don't really know what to say about that. I guess it doesn't have to be about ketamine. Obviously, that's what the dream's about, but it could be about something that you believe your mum does and your sisters, or your sisters maybe do, that you don't agree with. It may not be ketamine, but it could be something else.
Be women, I guess.
Yeah, maybe you just don't like women, I guess.
Maybe I'm a massive sexist. No, but one of my sisters didn't do the ketamine and just thought it was funny. Well, that's the weirdest part to me.
That is weird.
That's what I really can't wrap my head around.
And in reality, would that be true?
No. If any of us were addicted to drugs, then there would be like instant intervention and help. It was just a really weird experience. Have you got any dreams you want to bring up?
Yeah, I've got a weird dream that came to mind when you talk about your dream.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I remembered this dream, but anyway, because usually I forget them really quickly. But anyway, I can't remember it very well, but in short, I was dreaming that I went to a Starbucks, or like, no, it was a Costa actually, and I was with a big group of friends.
Costa UK, hell yeah.
And I guess we were drinking coffee or whatever you do in Costa.
Sounds ideal. Yeah, you tend to drink coffee.
And then everyone started eating the like paper bags that their Costa came in. So I guess it was like with like the muffins or whatever they had in the plastic. They were like, oh, you can eat the paper bags, they're edible. And I was like, why the fuck would you want to eat a paper bag? That's really weird. But everyone else was doing it. And I thought, what the fuck? That's just a weird ass dream. And then I talked to my mum about it in the morning.
Oh, it's gonna get better.
And then she actually literally found out why. So, like, maybe a week or two before this, I'd recently started becoming vegan. And she was like, maybe it's to do with the fact that your friends, like, eat stuff now that you think is really weird, because now to me eating meat is really weird. I wouldn't do it again, because to me that just seems so wrong. And she literally figured it out, and it was actually mad. I was like, wow, how did you figure that out? But that's the one dream that comes to mind, which was actually pretty cool.
Well. That seems like a logical deduction as well.
Because for me, dreams just always seemed really illogical. I never really understood what the meaning, and my mum just found the meaning. I'm not sure if it is the true meaning, but it kind of fits together quite well.
Well, if the boot fits, in the words of Woody from Toy Story 2, that was a quote from actually. So yeah, crazy dreams, man. Oh, dreams are so weird. I had a dream that was about, which happened after I watched a film, which we can talk about later. But yeah, I was just in a zombie apocalypse, and it was absolutely terrifying. Not in like the general sort of sense where you're there and you can't move, just kind of like
like observing from the outside.
Yeah. It was like when you die in a multiplayer game, and then sometimes you can be a little drone camera that flies around, you know. It was really weird, because I thought it was real, and I was like, well, fuck it, this is the end, hold your breath and count? Is that
That's the Skyfall
Yes.
song, yeah.
We'll sing that for you one day. Yeah, I hate zombies. I hate zombie films, but
Do you like zombie games?
yeah, I love COD Zombies. Only if I'm playing it with people, because playing it by yourself is actually scary. For real though.
I don't find games scary myself.
Oh god,
Well, I guess I haven't really played any horror sort of games, but I've played like zombies and stuff, but I don't find it scary. I just get really fucking angry. I'm just like, oh, fuck off, fucking zombies! Ah!
No,
I just get super triggered and annoyed when I die.
I'm terrified of games because like you actually have control over the player, the character, right? So I tried playing Alien Isolation and I literally turned it off after like 5 minutes because I just could not do it. As soon as I got on the UNSC Infinity, which is the completely wrong ship, I can't. Whatever. I don't know what the alien ship is called, but the UNSC Infinity is obviously not that. I'm sure people know what that is. Tom doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, I've not played this game, so I don't really know what you're
It's from a different game, but
Oh, you talk about fucking Halo again.
hell yeah. Yeah. So, I'll just mention this quickly. At the start of the year, I decided, I'm going to play through the Halo games. Then I'm up. I've just finished 4. Now I've got to play Halo 5. Not looking forward to it. 4 was crap. So, anyway, Tom, I saw you got your phone out to talk about a subject. So,
yes,
fire away.
I've got one last question, and it was, what weird thing would you make socially acceptable if you could?
Public masturbation. That was a lie.
I didn't laugh. I feel like I should have laughed.
No, you don't have to.
Now it just sounds like you're being completely serious.
Yeah, I did jump to
and
that
then
quite
I
quickly.
completely agreed with you by not laughing.
We don't condone being a fucking idiot and whipping your willy out in public.
Unless
don't
you're
do
into
that.
that. No, not even if you're
Yeah, if you're in
Yeah.
London, just get a room, quite literally.
even though that might not be possible because it's really expensive.
Yeah, but we can talk about rental prices later. For real though, what weird thing? I'd say small talk should be eliminated. So it's more.
It should be illegal.
No, it doesn't have to be illegal, but it shouldn't be socially unacceptable to not want to have a bullshit conversation with someone, because I really hate it, and I find it more uncomfortable being like, oh yeah, the weather's nice, innit? And all that, than just being sat in silence with a total stranger. So
yeah, as a fellow person, I don't know what the fuck was I trying to say then. But anyway, I agree with that. I just always find small talk really weird, and you're kind of you're saying stuff without actually saying stuff. That's how I would describe it.
yeah, it's like
You're like just you're like basically like sticking to a script, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
hello. Oh, hello. How are you? I'm all right. How are you? Oh, I'm good, thank you. And you just stick to a script. You don't actually say anything of interest.
Yeah.
It's just really boring.
And it's even so unnecessary that sometimes it's reduced down to 2 grunts. We shall demonstrate now what is not an uncommon fucking hell, I can't get around my words today. What is not an uncommon conversation in the area in which we live, which I mentioned earlier was the Southwest. So there's a little nugget of info for you. Have fun with that one. But anyway, let's start.
Let's recreate us walking slightly near each other.
Yeah, and passing by. Say we both work down at the recycling plant, and we see each other in the pub some days. Yeah. So, all right, done.
That was the conversation.
Yep.
If you want a translation for you non-Southwest people, we said
Silly billies.
all right, which is translated to hello, how are you? But you don't or just hello, I guess.
Well, it's quite a subtle one.
Yeah, it technically means are you all right?
Yeah.
Which is a common phrase in the UK, but you don't actually have to respond with an answer, because the correct response is also saying all right.
But not in the in the context where your family asks you, "Are you alright?" Then you.
Oh my goodness! Sorry,
Sorry.
any headphone
Headphone
users?
users, yeah. Oh, I could not hold that one back. But yeah, in the context of two geezers walking past each other, them going, "Right," means, "Hi, I acknowledge your existence." And it can even be fleshed out to mean, "Hi, how was your day?" And then your response, which in one context with your fellow geezer would be "alright," and you're like, "Yeah, I'm okay, are you?" And their silence confirms that they're okay. But if like your family asks, "Are you alright?" I'm like, "Yes, are you okay?" And I just fucking hate that. If one of my family's not okay, then I hope they don't need me to ask if I'm alright for them to talk to me, you know?
Yeah, you would hope that they can just know, I guess.
Yeah. And
but going on I don't know if you had more to add there. Sorry.
no, that's quite the end of the cul-de-sac there, very much.
But what I was gonna say, I should have laughed then. That was pretty funny, but I just was really concentrating on what I'm about to say.
You don't have to laugh.
Okay.
This is a no-laughing zone.
Thank you for your comforting words. But anyway,
okay.
I had to recently explain the art of nodding to my sister and mum, like maybe a few months ago, because this is a very male thing.
Yeah.
And recently my sister was nodded at and did not know the correct response. Which, if you're a male, is very common that clearly a nod is replied with another nod. It's another way.
Obviously.
It just means just the grunt alright.
Yeah, it's the same concept.
It's the same thing but without words, and you just kind of nod. And that's all you need to do. You don't need to say anything. Clearly, if someone's nodding at you, they don't want to bother to say anything, which is fairly commonplace in a workplace environment.
I mean, it's like a sociable interaction to nod at someone. I don't know if it is other places in the world. Like, I literally cannot American. I literally cannot American.
I cannot American either. I totally empathise with you.
I literally cannot talk today. No, but I don't expect Americans just go right to each other. I've never seen that in American media. So
no, that's not commonplace. But nodding, I'm not sure if that is.
I don't know. We'll have to. For all you Americans out there, let us know whether you nod at each other.
If any American watches this or listens to this, I guess, please could you let us know in the comments below, or we could just
and
Google
smash that like button and subscribe.
No, let's not go back into that. but yeah, I just found that pretty funny.
Yeah,
that it's just a male.
It's
thing.
a bloke thing, isn't it?
It's just a male thing, and I don't really know why.
I don't know. I feel like
oh no! Oh, I just remembered that they said that the female equivalent is waving. They give each other little waves.
Yeah.
And we give each other nods.
I can envision it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't really wave at people unless I'm really far away.
Or really drunk. I do that sometimes.
Yeah, actually, when I'm really drunk, I'll go, hello!
Yeah, oh god. I don't understand this place.
But yeah, back to the question that I asked.
Yeah, what is
your
your thing
the
that you'd
weird
make
thing
socially
that I'd
acceptable?
make socially acceptable is kind of similar, but it's kind of like complete honesty. Like if you were allowed to be completely honest towards someone, and that's completely socially acceptable. So if you were like to say a phrase like, "Oh, could you be honest?" and the other person would agree and say, "Yes, I can be honest." And then you would ask maybe a personal question like, "Do I look nice today?" And they are then socially obliged to give you their complete honest answer.
Yeah.
That would be literally amazing.
Yeah, let's reel it back a sec. So this is also specific to more Western, not necessarily more Western, but the UK in particular is a very bullshit country.
Yeah, there's a lot of social cues and social layers that is
Yeah.
kind of intertwined in our language,
Yeah.
which makes it very difficult to find out someone's honest opinion, as it's mostly just about keeping each other happy.
Yeah,
We
it's
just
ridiculous.
say our P's and Q's, which pleases and thank yous,
Oh,
and say sorry a lot, and
Oh god,
we
yeah,
don't-
we'll talk about sorry later.
yeah, we can get into that later. But you kind of, it's all about keeping each other happy.
Yeah.
And like, if my mum gets a haircut, I've talked about my mum a lot today. I don't really
I've
know
talked
why.
about my mum as well.
But if she gets a haircut, the correct response is, yes, your hair looks nice.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say anything else because that would be wrong.
Yeah, to be fair, let's
Even though it's my mum and I can give her complete honesty, I'm still not allowed to.
yeah. Although I trust that your mum gets a good haircut.
Yes, only the finest haircuts for my mother.
Yeah, so one of our friends got a mohawk recently, and
Oh, we're gonna go down this rabbit hole now.
Yeah.
Amazing.
so I think we've all gotten used to it now, so we all kind of accept it. But when Tom first saw it, he said, and I quote, "That's fucking awful."
Which I said because, well, basically, I know him quite well now, so I thought I could be honest with him. And he was joking about it quite a lot before we got to
Yeah.
see it. So I was under the impression that, oh, I'll just tell him it looks bad. Because let's be honest, it looks bad.
Sorry.
Well, in my opinion, it does.
I
But if you listen to
Yeah,
this,
Charlie.
I don't want to hurt your feelings, but we've already had this conversation before. And basically, his response, he went very defensive, and I think he was joking and being honest at the same time. I think that, that's a good example of when I was completely honest, and it backfired on me, and then I had to do basically a lot of backtracking to basically explain myself of why I thought I could give him that response in saying, "Oh yeah, it looks fine, mate," which is the correct response,
Yeah.
really.
if we were somewhere like Germany, where the Germans are quite blunt and honest, I've been told, I can imagine the response would be, "No, das ist scheiße," or whatever. I don't speak German, you know. But yeah, here in the lovely UK, oh god, no one can say anything without someone being like, "Oh, that was very rude."
Yes,
If it's out of line.
Stop being so rude to one another, please. Let's all just be nice and try and get along.
Yeah.
But I find with the way we do speak, if we are genuinely angry, we're obviously not allowed to verbally say that unless we get angry enough. So instead, we resort to passive aggression,
Oh god, yeah.
which is one of the most awful things ever.
Yeah, it's so annoying when you're like, "Oh, could you do this, please?" And then they're like, "Well, I could do it, but I don't see why I have to do it. You should do it." You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just
or
like-
they can even say the correct answer, which, "Oh, can you do this?"
Yeah.
"Oh, yes, I can." But instead of saying, "Oh, yes, I can," they'll go, "Oh, yes, I can."
I
They'll
suppose
say
I'll
it.
do it
Yeah,
then.
they'll say the correct answer, but they'll say it in such a voice that it's
Yeah.
passive aggressive, and that's really weird. I don't think
It
a
is
lot
odd,
of
yeah.
I don't think other countries do that. I'm not sure if that's commonplace elsewhere. That's another thing I don't really know, but
I didn't know. That was a That was a reference to Beefy Burt from Horrid Henry. Just wanted to get that one out there.
I didn't get that reference at all. But anyway, yeah, that's something that I feel like if you were new to this country
Yeah.
and you didn't realize it, that can be, I guess, pretty awkward.
Yeah. You know what else is awkward? When you're trying to say something and then you just start burping.
Yeah, I tried to not make that a loud burp.
You did well.
I held it in.
Yeah, that's enough about the disgusting social norms of the United Kingdom and how frustrating it is for someone who has a brain.
Yeah, I find it very important to understand what people actually mean when they're
Yeah.
talking. So
Yeah, like
for me, I need to know what someone actually is saying, not just what they're saying. So for someone that's very good in social situations, I feel like maybe they don't understand all the time, and they're just very good at sticking to the script.
yeah,
But for me, I'm really bad at doing that because
boring, innit?
all I want to do is just say what I actually want to say.
yeah, definitely.
But then I have to go through all these fucking social layers and then say what I need to say. So then it just seems really awkward. Like the
Yeah.
other day, I literally got called autistic.
Oh yeah, so did I.
And I got called a robot.
I didn't get called a robot, but I said something in so someone said a friend of a friend.
A friend of a friend.
No. Our friend who is a female friend, use the term loosely.
Yeah, I feel
Strong
like that's a good-
acquaintance.
I guess peer.
Yeah. So they said to me, this was my example anyway, that I feel the sexual tension between us is like palpable or something, and I was like, oh, what did I say? I said,
I don't think I was listening at the
Oh.
when she called you autistic. I gotta be
no,
honest.
no. What I said in response was, well, I'm not very good at picking up on social cues.
Yeah, I remember
in
that.
in
bit,
that exact
yeah.
tone, so with a hint of being genuine,
Yeah.
which I'm not the
Which
greatest.
you disguised with a monotone voice and
Yeah,
slightly
with-
different to your own, which can pass off as a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I got told that was the most autistic response I could have gone with.
Yeah.
And whilst it was probably not what most people would say, I thought it was a pretty good funny.
Well, I think it's just what you did there. If we just break down the joke,
Ooh.
is you said maybe something slightly more honest than you would have actually said, but then you said it in a slightly different voice, so it could be turned, so it could just be, oh, he's just being sarcastic.
Yeah. So no, I do understand that social cues aren't my strong point.
Yeah, I'm not very good. I'm just not very good in social situations myself either, so
Yeah.
I just find it easier to be in small groups because there's
Yeah.
less that can go wrong, I guess. Less people to offend, because that's one of the big things.
Yeah.
It's not offending people.
Speaking of offending people, I just wanted to say that we don't use the term autistic in a negative sense. It's just it's kind of a description that this person used to describe social awkwardness, which strictly speaking isn't correct. Like, you're not necessarily socially
No.
awkward if you're autistic, but
that's a correlation with people.
yeah,
that are
it tends to go
autistic.
hand in hand, and I just wanted to
Yeah,
make
that-
it clear
just to
that
clarify,
we
yeah.
don't hate autistic people.
That's just no. Well,
Yeah,
why did I just stumble on my words? Now it just sounds like I do hate them, but just trying to hide it.
no, it's fine. I think we got the point.
Let's just move. What
You were gonna say something.
What led us down this? We were talking about honesty and how you can talk honestly.
What Tom wants to make. What
Um,
social thing Tom wants to make.
Yeah. So going back to what I was saying, if you could just, there's like a social phrase that you say, oh, can you be honest? And then the other person is obliged to say their honest answer.
Yeah.
Do you think that? Do you honestly think that'd be good? Because for me, I think it would be good.
Yes. This
But I
is
think
really
it would depend on who you're talking to.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing.
So, someone you trust, then honesty means a lot more from a total stranger, because who knows if they're going to lie to you. If you walk up to a person on the street and you're like, oh, does my hair look okay? First of all, they'll look at you weird and probably walk off. But if they do answer, they'll be like, yeah, it's fine. And that literally has no thought put into it. It's shit, what do I say to this person? Because this doesn't usually happen.
Oh, stick to the script.
Yeah.
That's what you do. But if it was like normal for someone to go, oh, excuse me, can I have your honest opinion? And then they give it, and then I feel like that would be helpful for me. If I wanted someone's genuine opinion on something. But if you were easily offended, then I can see how that would not be a great thing, because if someone gave their honest opinion and it was bad, and if you take offense easily, then that could just, then I don't know.
Yeah, but then
what happens to offended people? I guess they get angry.
But then
sad.
you're a snowflake and you need to grow up.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You're a liberal snowflake and you should join the Conservative Party.
I'm not conservative. I think I already said that.
Yeah, we've said that multiple times. I think that we're not conservative, but we keep making jokes that we
conservative
are.
jokes. Yeah, and that's the irony of it. I actually have something I want to say. It's quite topical because there's something right in front of us called a spider. And now, I don't have arachnophobia, which is a phobia of spiders. So that's actual...
Spider-Man.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I don't, get anxiety when I see a spider. I don't, have to leave the room or anything. I just don't like them per se, and I definitely don't like them crawling on me. I hate anything crawling on me. That is, ugh. But I had work the other day at the cafe, and we have these parasols. And for the uninitiated, parasols are those big umbrellas that you can sit under. And there was this fat off black spider in one, and I don't know what type of spider it was. Oh, but it was horrible. And if you crushed it, it was the kind of one that would go, you could feel its exoskeleton. It's so gross. And I had to catch it. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The only reason I did was because my masculine bravado came on, and I was like, fuck yeah, I've got to be manly and catch this spider.
That is a manly thing to do.
I mean, I did it in front of this girl, and we're obviously married now, so...
Oh yeah, I'm sure she was very impressed, and I'm sure you got her number.
None of that happened, because that doesn't happen from catching spiders, obviously.
But I don't care about spiders.
Yeah.
I literally just leave them be, because they get rid of flies, which I find flies much more annoying.
Yeah, but flies are less repulsive in my opinion. Even though they do stand on shit and stuff, I still, the spider just moved, and I hate the way they move.
For me, I could literally pick that up and let it cool on my hands, and I would have no problem with that.
I could catch it in a glass, and I wouldn't mind, but yeah.
But especially knowing that the spider's not dangerous, because we live in the UK, and they're not dangerous, puts me at ease.
The only dangerous one that does live here, properly, and hasn't just come over in a bunch of bananas, is a false widow, and if you get bitten by one of them, you get a little swelling, but it's not like you die.
Yeah, getting bit by a black widow, now that's a whole different ballgame.
You are pretty screwed if you don't get to the hospital quickly. I think that's the general idea. Ooh, yeah, we've been going for an hour.
But anyway, I think that conversation about spiders kind of died there. So I'm just impressed, because I've been watching the timer of our podcast go by, and we've hit an hour
of pretty much constant conversation. Fuck yeah, this has been a win.
And last time we only managed 40 minutes, was it, of actual conversation?
Yeah, 40 minutes or so of proper, and then Tom had a coughing fit, and it all went downhill from there.
It all just went downhill after my horrible coughing fit, which made me question my life choices. And but I'm just really proud of ourselves that we've actually managed to speak for an hour about random stuff, and we didn't really have a lot planned. I guess we both had had questions. I think that's what made it a little bit better, maybe.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, because all of our questions have a different kind of character and spin on them.
Yeah. And we went on random tangents, which really boosted the time up there.
Yeah,
so
it did.
Good job us for having random thoughts and for still living at home with our families to have a weird conversation, weird things to talk about them, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose it's useful. Adds character.
Is this the end now?
This is my only friend, the end. That's one of the Doors songs I like. The End by the Doors.
Thank you.
Cracking. But yeah, let's wrap this up.
I
Because
don't.
there's nothing more of note we can do.
There's no outro that we have, so
Yeah, it is. It's da 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 da. Okay, never mind.
I'm just gonna let that linger.
Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? And I think on that note, that's a suitable ending. Thank you very much for listening to the Burnt Ham Podcast episode 2. We shall see you next week for a very special episode, which may or may not have more spiders in it. It's not going to be special in any way, so that was a lie.
Yeah, goodbye everyone, and yeah, goodbye.
That's about
goodbye.
it.
Yeah.
Cheers in a bit.